comic Valentine. You make me smile with my heart. Oh, yes. Your looks are laughable, unphotographable. Yet you're my favorite work of art. Is your figure less than green? Is your mouth a little bit weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Don't, baby, no, don't you change.
I feel like I've been on this journey my whole life because it started with my name, Talitha, which literally means little girl wake up. And I can't say it's been easy. There's been a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, but I believe life is all in your decision making. The I Am Talitha show is a combination of things that I love to talk about. And I want to enlighten you, encourage you, and inspire you to be the best you can be with some help from me and my guests. Let's talk about it.
What's poppin', buddy? Say I got the leftovers from Auntie. Let's go ahead and crack these damn leftovers and make a good rib slider.
And we are live here at the Botham Jean Foundation Gala event, you guys. Did you know that the real New Year is not on January 1st? It's on March 20th. So the real New Year's Eve is March 19th, with New Year's Day being March 20th. So you guys don't worry if you haven't kept up your New Year's resolutions, because you still have a little bit of time. So is there anything that I left?
No, other than my name is pronounced Georgia Nay.
Georgia, I was pronouncing that all wrong. Georgia Nay. My bad. I hate when people pronounce my name wrong too.
Tappity Kuma.
Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Talitha Cumi, and I want to welcome you to the I Am Talitha Cumi show on Food for the Soul Media Group Network. Thanks for tuning in, and remember you can catch us here every Friday night at 7:30 p.m. on our Food for the Soul YouTube station, Food for the Soul Media Group FB page, and check out our re-air audio shows on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and iHeart Radio. Shout out to Quan with Gorilla Cross Media on the ones and twos, keeping us looking and sounding right. And if you're tuned in right now, please make sure you hit that subscribe button or that like button wherever you are, and go to our Instagram and follow us at Food for the Soul Media Group. I am Talitha _Cumi and Orlay _worldwide. My disclaimer, as always, these are our opinions, not fact, just our opinions, and some of the opinions of our guests are not always the opinions of the I Am Talitha Cumi show, Food for the Soul Media Group, or Gorilla Cross Media. And if you want to weigh in, leave us a comment in the chat room on our YouTube station or FB page, you guys. So our theme for this month is Love TKO. So the first of the month, we were discussing if giving you the best that I got is enough with the Freemans from Blink Show TV. Shout out to them. And this week, we want to continue to discuss love and relationships for this month. It's month of love. So my baby Big Bobby B is back. And this show, we're getting intimate because we're discussing things that we have discovered out here in relationship, marriage, life, and things like that. So our topic today is going to be, what do you do when you feel lost in the relationship? But first, since he's always in the chat room, introduce yourself, babe. Tell him what you do.
What's poppin', everybody? It's your neighborhood-friendly designer, Big Bobby B. I just live day to day.
Day to day. That's it.
That's all I do.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, Quan, on the ones and twos.
Yeah.
Sir.
Always. I love bringing Bobby on the show to discuss some of the things that we discuss, in private and different things like that, just to kind of give some people a different perspective on things. Sometimes I feel like I've been saying so many times that we've quieted the voices of men. We're not letting them speak. And we're not letting them say anything. And then when they do say something, it's deemed as toxic. And so I want to give him an opportunity to say some things, about men. Of course, it's, general. Every man is not the same. But I want to give him an opportunity to talk about some stuff that men, think, that men, kind of go through or whatever. And we just kind of want to chop it out, and hopefully it helps somebody out. Yeah. So I want to get into it. And all of you viewers, feel free to chime in online. Let us know what your thoughts are. Or if you have any questions, we'll try and answer them during the show, because we are live on the YouTube and I'm live on the Facebook. So whichever one you guys want to get on. So my first question, babe, is, have you ever felt lost during our 13-year marriage? We're going on 13 years this year. And if so, what did you do about it? Was it healthy or not healthy? And what would you advise men to do if they're feeling that way?
Yeah, I've obviously felt lost. Mm-hmm. I believe everybody normal has.
Okay.
The biggest thing I say when you're going through as men, the biggest thing that we need is like another dude with some knowledge to talk to.
Okay.
Preferably somebody who's walked through some fires, not somebody who read about somebody who walked through some fires. Mm-hmm. That's somebody who, I think that if you're going through something, you need to seek as a man.
And I know that.
And there's been times whenever I handled being or feeling lost in an unhealthy way. Mm-hmm. Most other times not. I think the most healthy way you can handle that feeling is just kind of stop and kind of reevaluate. Because it's not so much when you feel it. When you do, you need to stop and kind of think and look at why am I feeling like this? Okay. Or what did I do to get to this spot? And kind of just individually pick at everything so you can find exactly what it is, so you don't just stay traumatized.
So you're saying that it's normal to possibly feel lost in a marriage or a relationship, especially if you've been in it for a long time?
I'm not saying it's normal to feel anything. I'm just saying that there's times to feel that way.
Okay.
There's always an opportunity to feel away. Mm-hmm. Circumstances or whatever. It's about how you handle or how you come out of it that matters. What you do in those times where you might feel that way. Okay. It could be finances or lack of something thereof or whatever makes you feel, an imbalance as opposed to saying loss.
Okay. What would you suggest a woman do, or would you like me to tackle that?
What do you mean a woman would do about what?
If she was lost, or is that the same across the board with
really,
men and women?
I think, well, yeah, kind of, but I believe that the danger. Women have y'all have a lot of different outlets y'all use for healing and stuff that hadn't always been as safe for us really, or we haven't been able to explore it as deep. Mm-hmm. But you guys have like kind of like a secret or a set thing that y'all go to.
Okay.
Be it some relic from the past or something in media or something, but y'all kind of find that bucket of Haagen-Dazs kind of dive into when you feel in a certain way.
Okay.
It's a little safer than our, punch walls or whatever we do.
Yeah.
When we don't understand that frustration.
Okay. So I can agree with you on that. I'm not sure that I have felt lost during our marriage, but I know that I came into it wanting to make sure that I didn't get lost, right. Mm-hmm. And so I think what has helped me find the balance that you were talking about, because I know we struggled with that in the very beginning of our marriage, the balance of me trying to figure everything out that I was doing and then still be able to be a good wife. But what I think that I learned was to get myself some business. And I think I've always told you that before. Like, I try to figure out some of the things that I like or that I can enjoy by myself, so that I wouldn't get lost or be so clingy to you where you're like, dang, Talitha, can you go sit down somewhere? You know, you ain't got to be up under me all the time. And so I think that I try to develop some safe hobbies that I like graphic design. You know, I was doing that a lot. Finding movies to watch because I'm a movie buff.
But you say that like you had an issue with being under. You're not that kind of person.
What?
You just find other things to be more busy. You're not like, you would have never been under me in any circumstance like that.
No, I feel like that I could have very well been that person. I feel like I could have very well been that person. And so I purposely tried to find myself something to do so that I wouldn't become that. Baby, what you doing? Where you at? Where you? Because I know that I could have been that, especially with what you were doing work-wise when we first got together. I would have been, you know, at home, especially on the weekends with nothing going on. For me, I would have really been like, what you doing? Call me back. What's going, you know what I'm saying? I would have been bothering you. And so I just tried to find myself something to do so that I could kind of live in that space.
Yeah. Well, living in that space, what do you think that like average black woman, black churchy woman can do to kind of get like a real relationship with Jesus?
Living
like
it.
the typical, you know.
For and why do you say black women?
Well, I have more experience with sisters than I do any other race of women, so I don't know how other women handle faith, but I know that black women seem to kind of sock drawer faith to me. It's kind of like not all. I'm just saying the ones most women I've experienced. It's kind of like I just throw it on real quick.
Yeah.
Sunday night or day or whatever, put it back in the drawer. It's not really a actual idea. Like, I don't know if too many people understand the idea of what that means.
I feel like for black women in the church, a lot of times, you know, finding out we've been taught some misinformation is the first thing. You know, not everybody's pastor is correct, unfortunately, and that we have to do a lot of studying for ourselves. And so for me, I really prayed to not just be a church member. I prayed to develop a personal relationship with God, you know, with Jesus. And then I started to study and do the work. And like I'm always going to say, and it's a broken record, but when we were down in 2020, that was the perfect time for a lot of people to really delve into their relationship with their creator. It really was, because we didn't have the church to fall back on. We didn't have the pastors in our ear. So we were able to kind of be one-on-one with him and then listen to what he was telling us to do. And so my advice would be just to do that, because once you have your relationship with God in order, he will really, really direct your steps if you allow him to. And it's not just playing church, and it's not just going to church on a Sunday and singing in the choir. Like I used to be that person. I was so into church that I didn't realize that I didn't have a real good personal relationship. You know what I'm saying? So I was just in the church, and I'm in the choir, and I'm helping my dad out because I worked at the church. And so I was just doing church. Church. And I remember, I think I told you before, what shook me was one time I had a dream that Jesus came back, and I was at an airport. I will never forget this. I was at an airport, and I want to say it was me and you and a couple of other people, and we got we got cut off, or we got disconnected or whatever. And so everybody was like running because they see Jesus in the clouds, so they're running or whatever. These planes are coming into the airport, and I lost my whole family. I lost you. I lost all of my family. And I was sitting there with a friend of mine. I won't say her name, but her and her daughter were sitting there with me. And I felt like that I had gotten left behind, like the movie. And so it made me question my faith and like, okay, what am I really doing? Like, what is important to me? Why am I sitting here worried about, what songs we're going to sing, or if the choir sounds great, and my relationship is suffering. And so that really helped me put stuff into perspective. So I would say that women, figure that part out.
Yeah. Okay.
Figure that part out. I want to ask you about infidelity because and you said we talked about this before, and I really don't remember infidelity in marriage. And do you have any advice on that, specifically to men? Like if they're feeling lonely or they're feeling lost or disrespected or they're not getting enough for whatever reason. And then talk to the greedy guys too. That just,
this is all a big walk, man.
Okay.
So every I guess every path, if you feel like you want to be on it, you got to kind of be prepared for everything that can be on it. Snakes, rocks, whatever. The biggest issue I think men that we have when it comes up to this is, I don't think men really know why they entertain infidelity first. Myself, as I walked through all these forms of life, I started digging through that. Why I ever did that. My influences. My influences were all Christian influences that would suggest, feeding the monster instead of walking away. And I've had some that just say walk away. If your wife's not giving you any, you leave.
Right.
Because they're breaking the vow. I've heard this from pastors. I've heard every kind of dark, misguided piece of well-intended bad advice about this whole subject. And I think it all boils down to why. So like men need to first go in their room and be like, why would I want to do that? If this person I'm with is providing these things, do the checklist, see if it works, see if it doesn't work. I think, as I said last week on Facebook, maybe men should ask for hall passes if it gets to that point.
Okay.
If you don't want to lose your, because I understand the struggle. It's hard. It's hard whenever you come from two different types of thought, two different types of ideas, two different types
background. Upbringing.
Yeah, upbringing, your DNA. Some people's DNA, like we were watching that documentary the other day.
Yeah.
Flair had 10,000 women that he could remember. His DNA was is created for that. Some people, one woman, and that's like forever. So it's like knowing who you are and what your DNA is before getting in a relationship or carrying on with it would help out. But when you get in a situation where you start seeing imbalance and differences and stuff, find good examples to talk to.
Okay.
On both sides. And the greedy people, they can't really be helped because that's a whole different thing.
Okay.
That's a whole different mindset that really can't.
So then, would you ever suggest a poly relationship ever? Like, would you, because you said a hall pass, would you ever suggest that or?
No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't even, man. I was going to say I wouldn't even suggest marriage. No.
Damn. That's what we do. God, dog. All right then, Bobby.
No,
so we're not getting married. All right.
I wouldn't suggest that, but I can see how it works. I can see how people make it work and why they choose to do it.
Okay.
Now, if people are choosing to do it solely for sex purposes, that's never going to work. That's going to fail.
Okay.
You're just being greedy. You're in that same category with those greedy people that we'll probably talk about later in this. But yeah.
So
I would suggest it, but I don't see the
benefit in it, possibly.
I don't see the negative bit. I don't see how it's negative for people who understand what they're doing it for.
Okay. What would you say to people who are they say, the Bible says, one man, one woman, and it says that, early on, God created Adam and Eve to be together. But in the Bible, we see so many examples of men that were men after God's own heart that had more than one wife. How do you explain that?
Well, we had to bring about something to make that change for society. So the New Testament changed all of that. I still don't understand physically or mentally why it had to shift. I understand there's too many people maybe or whatever, but I look at all these single women out here struggling, right?
Yeah.
And complaining about struggling and this and that. And I'm like, the mindset, if that woman had the mindset to just like join a team and cool out, she would be great. All these masses of women complaining about being single, can't find a dude. I can see that society working, like these polygamous societies and stuff who choose women who are, not really at society standard for success, that don't have a lot of money or whatever. They work together as a team. So I don't know. I don't suggest it, but I can see why those people do it.
I kind of feel like, though, when I'm thinking back on some of the stories, Bible stories that we've seen, if we've read the Bible, a lot of those men that were after God's own heart, that were in relationships with more than one woman, it wasn't great. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't a great thing. Like, we look at it and we're like, okay, you got, Abraham and
those really
Sarah,
weren't situations of having like, that was kind of like
Sarah. I'm saying, and then you have
getting divorced. That's what that was kind of like.
And then
to
you
me
have
reading that story.
Well, he had, when he got with Hannah, was it Hannah?
Yeah, one like he was like with both of them, was he?
No, he wasn't. But I'm just saying that he, they did that, and that part didn't work out because of the human nature part of it, and then you had Jacob and Leah and Rachel, what I'm saying? So I'm thinking that some of the examples we had, they didn't really go really well. So it's kind of like, maybe not. So I can see that. The hall pass thing, not sure. It seems similar to that, but it's almost like a hall pass to me. It's kind of like a menage a trois, but not, because your spouse is not involved in the sexual act, but letting that spouse go out and be with someone else. I think it brings back that spirit that might not, you might not be able to get rid of that part.
Right.
So I don't know, but I get what you're saying. I get your suggestion. I have a couple of people that are on our YouTube page, and Solid Truth said, "Hey family, what's
What
up?
Solid Truth?
She is not feeling well this weekend. But she said, do coming from different backgrounds, or faiths, or upbringings create challenges in relationships and marriages, and how do you overcome them?"
You don't get into them.
Okay.
First, that's just what it is, man. I'm starting to see it now, man.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Getting older, no matter what. If somebody has like a disdain for your face, don't try to church your way through that. Talking about, oh well, God's gonna bless, and we're gonna no. This person has a disdain for your face. They don't like you. So there's not enough kneeling down and slapping the doors of the church you can do to fix that. That's never gonna change. No matter how many band-aids you put over it, it's still going to be a pretty big wound under that.
Okay.
So be equally yoked in everything. There's going to be certain things that are going to be like, all right, we're human, so I can have to sacrifice in that area. But your whole damn existence shouldn't be a sacrifice. You shouldn't be tearing all the way to benefit someone else or y'all's situation. Okay. Because it's not giving any creator any type of glory for you to be having to rip yourself to make something work.
Okay.
This is covered in blood. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Do you think that women have overdone the whole fake hair and makeup thing to the point where it's just kind of unsettling? And do you think that energy is the reason why there's so many men like pushing towards like the transvestite community and not having an issue with it because they've been watching their wife or girlfriend or significant perpetrate another look for so long that it's easy to kind of fall into?
That is an awesome question. It's really weird. Quan is over here laughing real hard. So basically you're saying that with men out here, with so much of the fakery that we've done as women, it's kind of giving some men an out to be able to go to a transvestite or transgender or whatever, because
check out the energy,
we're kind of looking the same. That's what you're saying.
And it's not even just that. Like, check out the energy. Y'all a lot of women have made it a point to throw on so much stuff that when they take it off, they actually operate more like dudes. Like they operate kind of like they don't get to operate in their natural face. They're now operating kind of like I'm not in my face, so now I can just be whatever. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but you spent so long trying to disguise your real look that you're not even operating your real look anymore.
I believe absolutely.
Like you see a chick at Walmart that don't have her face on, she's kind of rude. She's kind of like a dude. It's like, golly, I'm just trying to grab the peas, move out of my way. I wish you put your face on this morning because your face is really your personality, and that sucks. We don't get to do it. Like you don't see us walking around with like cucumbers all strapped to our legs and junk. I'm going on a date with a hot chick tonight. Why do you got all that on? Oh, I got to let her know that Why do y'all get to do it? It's a double standard. It's nasty. I don't understand how we've made that such a acceptance.
I can't really tell you that, like, cause I don't know where the makeup came from. Like, I don't know the history of makeup or anything like that. But I do believe that we have taken it to the extreme, and it's really been societal. It's really been society saying, ladies, if you look like this, you can get this. If you look like this, you can, like even for me, like, hereditarily, I have very, very dark circles up under my eyes.
Right.
So as I've grown and matured and gotten older, they've gotten worse.
See, we're not dissing medical things. What we're talking about is like people just being greedy. It's the same. It's greedy. It's the same thing.
But I'm still talking about the fact that
why is it acceptable?
The fact that putting on makeup or putting on concealer helps me feel better about me, because when I've gone out with no makeup on at all and I'm out here, kids are scared of me, they run like, Miss Talitha, what's wrong with your face? Stuff like that. I guess it helps me fit in and not stand out.
Well, I'm buying a Superman chest and I'm wearing that junk everywhere I go.
Putting it on the front. But I think that I think that we have been taking it's hard because, like I said, in society, when you look a certain way, you get treated a certain way, and it's just how it is. So for women, think about this honestly. Think about some of the women that that are natural, that may not look as great as some others. So I'm going to put it like that, because I'm not going to say that they're ugly, because everybody is beautiful in somebody's eyes, right? But if they're strong in the face or whatever, and they're out here trying to do different things, sometimes they are overlooked. And I don't know who made the rules.
No,
I can't tell you who did it, but
I get what you're saying,
we as women, we're already.
Why are we always perpetuating it? Why do we still push it forward? Why is there not like, this is, like any other thing? Like, I've been eating too many donuts and I can see that, these pants, these 42s don't fit anymore. I have to get 44s now. You stop. Like, you notice I'm getting treated like women do. Y'all start feeling like a different way when you start getting treated by like younger guys in public. Like, maybe this is I'm starting to clowny a little bit. Probably need to dial back on some of this.
Oh yeah, of course,
okay.
Of course, yeah.
So that's like y'all's indicator light that I probably
absolutely. But I feel like too with social media and celebrities and different things like that, they're pushing this narrative for these girls to have all of this fakeness going on. They really are, because you look at girls that are younger and younger that are wearing, like back in the day, 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, they weren't wearing lace fronts. They weren't wearing weaves and everything. I wasn't wearing that when I was 12 or 13. I didn't see.
She got acne.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming up. And so I think that the narrative that's being pushed now is for these girls to put on this and fake that, and if you don't have this,
it's always been that though. It was like that for a period for dudes back when presidents used to wear the wigs.
Yeah,
and they Rick James.
Yeah,
but like it wasn't. Y'all have done this. Y'all have made this like a life form to where a dude, like if somebody like Encino Man came out of a cave and saw a regular faced woman, he'd be like, what is that?
Yeah. He wouldn't know.
Last time I went in this cave, everybody had on a bunch of cake and wigs down their back.
Well, I think that somebody said,
I like natural women's faces. I miss it. Like I miss not being able to see everybody on social all day.
Somebody said, do you think that feeding into social media and the expectations that people put on themselves influence their choices and following so many influencers and not having their own identity?
Yeah.
That's possibly...
Because, in the 90s, we dressed like Zach Morris and we dressed like a few people on TV.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like a whole lot of everybody. Like the death of the celebrity is what changed everything. Now everybody's a celebrity, so everybody's always trying to fight to get to some sort of something, always change their look, this and that. It's not like a few good examples we look at. So that's a problem. But in that, there's still too many fake examples.
Well, your example, it's harsh to hear, but absolutely truth, because of the fakeness and so much that we're putting on now, some of us can't tell guys from women anymore, because a guy can make up his face as dope or doper than a woman can. Right. So then when you're out here in these streets, these men are like, okay, damn, I didn't know, and so I can totally agree with you. I think that we just need to have more examples of women that are out here just doing it, full, just beautiful face. Like Beyonce is beautiful without makeup. She doesn't even need the makeup. If you watched the Super Bowl, Alicia Keys started a long time ago. She stopped wearing makeup. And so her face is beautiful, and so we just need more role models to kind of let these women and girls know that we are beautiful naturally.
Can I show you guys a picture real quick?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Please show
us.
So
this
picture.
Is a potato.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So with the right kind of makeup and lashes, you can make a potato look pretty good.
A potato.
Man. God.
And when you wipe off all the makeup and turn over in the morning and look at it, it's a potato.
It is
Back
a
to
potato.
See that?
Man, Quan, thank you so much. And
That's a clever image.
and Solid was saying, so she was saying what is considered beauty, what is considered beautiful, and that's how the issues began. Like I said, I don't know who created the standard of makeup or why we should wear it, or I don't know about all that, but I do know that I just think that if we have more examples showing us that we are beautiful naturally, then I think that more girls and women would stop all of the caked on stuff.
Learn how to like vibrate on your beauty points.
Yeah.
Focus on that.
But somebody has to tell you though. Somebody really has to tell you. Like,
so your older ladies need to start speaking up on stuff that matters.
Yes.
Stop talking about dumb TV shows.
Yeah.
And whatever gossip, and start talking about things that matter. Because I shouldn't have to tell a 67-year-old lady how to empty a dryer sheet.
Yeah.
Or take out the lint out of her dryer.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, using this example.
But
we have to. Yeah. Older women are to be teaching younger women, as
Yeah.
So
you're right.
This cycle shouldn't keep going. It's embarrassing.
Well, what do you say to men with children from a previous relationship or marriage? What do you say to them on how they can navigate through their relationship with their kids, babies, moms, and new relationships or wife? Like, what do you say to those men who might be having issues on how to put those together and make those work?
First, you gotta, like, if you're separate and you got, this is hard. This is a hard, loaded question.
Yeah.
Man.
So for men, the advice to,
it's like this can be a lot of things. Like, why are they even in the baby mama, baby daddy situation here?
Right.
How'd they leave? Because that's going to determine how you stay speaking or how stay work with somebody.
So we don't know, and because we don't know, I just kind of want to see if you have some general advice on men who, like you have a previous child from a previous relationship, and then now you're married to this new spouse or in this new relationship. How are you navigating those effectively? And I think I remember for sure that we kind of tried to touch on this before.
Yeah, we did. And in this moment, you have to, after that breakup, you need to spend as much time as possible, because there's a lot of grieving, a lot of crying and all that. As much time as possible actually developing yourself again.
Okay.
In the right way. So that way you don't make that type of decision again.
Okay.
Whatever it be, whatever reason you made it, you won't whenever you start developing you. And then be consistent. Just, stay consistent with the kid. I do as much as I can with Destiny. Her mom is on a different thing. So I just, I'm consistent. I check on her, so.
What do you say about child support issues?
That part, I think that state order child support is one of the biggest poisons ever produced or presented to families. Because it automatically takes the responsibility of parenting away and just makes a kid a number.
Yeah.
And people who latch onto that and stay on that will forever look at their child as a number no matter what.
Yeah.
And you're looking at these women out here suffering and falling apart and all of this. And you're like, what's going on with them? They're holding on to this type of junk in their life. They put this type of tax on somebody and they got to pay that penance. So, yeah, this is a dumb system set up for people who are careless, and it wasn't supposed to be for everybody.
And
reform would work. Let me teach somebody how to be instead of doing this, let's talk about mental disorders and how to speak to your children. You're going to spend a year in class doing that, and after that you're going to do this. It should be stuff like that, but they don't necessarily care about the children. They care about getting money for the order to make things continue to go. So I understand.
And I saw a post from one of our friends, shout out Bree Moore. She's always posting about her and her child's father's relationship and their dynamic. And I, kudos to her and him, because she said that they didn't want the people in their business, that it should never be that. And that they decided to raise their son together to where he would be able to experience some time with his father and then some time with his mother, both equally outside of their home, so that he can have a balanced life and then understand, why they're not together and whatever. But I think more relationships should be that way.
And it starts with the woman.
Yeah.
Because a woman is a more rational person in general relationships. So if a woman is selfless enough to suggest this is what we need to do for our child first, and it be a thing that we can both work with, that saves a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Quiet women ruin families and ruin legacies. It takes a lot to rebuild that.
So we need to start speaking up.
Women need to start speaking up, and for real, from like like Loretta, your mom. This is a beautiful woman. Like I could see a lot of stuff happening to her, and she's staying exactly her, balance. Missiles, everything coming at her, she's balanced, and she's still gonna tell women the same kind of sauce.
Yeah.
That's what women are supposed to do. She comes from a balanced family. They love each other. They work together. Stay that. And that came from wiser women in her family saying, we need to do this.
Yes.
Man was out working and stuff. He's really kind of, mostly not really dumb, but we're kind of like more focused on, especially, our older generation, focused on doing other things. So women, if y'all just say, we're going to do this for the family, it'll go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I can agree with that.
Better examples, better women.
I can agree with that. I just wanted to shout out Kasha Brown again. She is on here. She just said makeup was intended to enhance, not alter. And she said I go with makeup so much, without makeup so much. Folks give me the okay, when she's putting on the basics. And so she was saying that it culturally, it was utilized initially for ceremonies and courtship of presentation
for like dead bodies.
or to men or adulthood. So I don't think dead bodies. I think she was like, back in the days, it
I know
might
in
have
Egypt
been,
they used to.
it might have been used to present, this girl or this woman to whomever. So I just want to say that. Thanks, KB.
Appreciate that, KB. I have another question. Or is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Where am I at?
After the child support.
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
No, I think I already covered that. I was going to ask what is it going to take to get women. I already covered it. You covered it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so before the break, I want to do this big one. I wanted to ask about outside friendships that spouses have. Can they make or break the marriage? Why or why not?
Yeah. Can outside marriages friendships break a marriage? Yes, they can. They can break a marriage if the communication ain't the same on like across the board. Spouse doesn't like them or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. They cause, some sort of imbalance.
And so that's always been my question, because I feel like the circle that you keep in your marriage is just kind of it's so important.
Right.
It's so important. If you have a friend, and we talked about single and, should married women have single friends? And I feel a way about that. I don't have a problem with it. I just don't think that we should continue to kind of hang out and do a whole lot of stuff together as I'm married.
I think we talked about this.
And you're not.
We
talked about it.
Right.
But what I was going to say was that still the friendships that you have, whether they be single or not, and you talked about that, that they need to be a certain caliber of friend. Like, I can't be hanging out with a friend of mine who is, kind of promiscuous. Even if, that was my girl, being in a marriage, it's just difficult to navigate that friendship because it's, like you said, birds of a feather, even though, I might be very strong, but it's just the atmosphere and the, that energy that you're around, that person who's kind of sleeping around or whatever, and you're married and loving on your husband, but you gotta, every once in a while y'all go out, hang out, and she talking about all the dudes she done been with. It's difficult, I think.
Yeah, especially if you're not trying to have these same conversations. But that's with anything. You outgrow friends, clothes. I don't want to have that same. I don't want to feel that same space anymore.
I agree.
So friends are safe. They're not safe whenever they cause you to have to fill a space that you're not trying to fill, be in a room you're not trying to be in.
Okay.
Causing you to stumble is about what I would say.
I can get that.
Yeah. My last question also tied into what we spoke about previously. So
okay,
you kind of covered a lot there.
Cool. Well, we are getting candid, talking about marriage and relationships, and we're giving our opinions on things that have helped us and some other things. We are not therapists, counselors by any means. We're just two people that love each other and genuinely care about other people, you guys. But we will be right back.
Yay.
In a short minute, 2 minutes, maybe 3. Hey. So we are about to embark on this awesome journey as I reveal to you guys a legacy. Here, I'm gonna take out this, and I'm trying to MapQuest our old home. Dallas, Texas, by way of California, whatever you say, and then snap it. When you're ready. But she was just covering, and she wanted to make sure she was able to keep the family together, so she did. But my mom now, having Simone and Courtney, realizing like, Willie Joe, you have to be in these kids' lives, and if you're not, I can't do this.
I was visiting the church. My dad was in the men's choir, and he had started going to the church. So I came to support my dad, and I got a chance to meet Dr. Bolden at the end of service. And the next time that I came to visit with my dad, just going to church with my dad, he remembered my name.
this is actually the time you find out a lot of things.
Potatoes.
Our show tonight has been sponsored in part by the Orlay Collective. The Orlay Collective, accessories, fashion, and art all in one place. Go to www.burriscreates/Orlay, ORLA, worldwide. Stand out from the ordinary. So, you guys, we're looking for sponsors and donors to help keep our show our priority in bringing you great news, good discussions, and great guests. And we need you. If you're looking to be a guest or promote your business with us, go to foodforthesoulpresents@gmail.com, or you can inbox us. Welcome back. If you just tuned in, you're listening to or watching the I Am Talitha Cumi Show on Food for the Soul Media Group, YouTube, or FB page. And I'm here with my baby, Big Bobby B, as we discuss marriage and relationships. So now I want to talk about single people. I know that you feel kind of a way about single people and how they navigate through this dating pool, and how they are deceived, and how we have all been deceived at one time by others who have not been all that they said that they were. And some of them had no clue, or we had no clue. And we've been tricked into relationships and marriages. So, I know that you've been doing a study, and you're going to be doing a book real soon about narcissistic behavior. And why nobody's talking about it, honestly. So I want to know from your research first, what is a narcissist, baby? And as singles, how can we look out for those traits?
Well,
or how can they look out for those
I
traits?
personally don't know the definition of a narcissist.
You don't?
No.
In all the
No, I really don't.
studying that you've been listening to? Really?
Yeah, because all the books that I've been reading, like none of the psychiatrists have any real concrete nothing to say.
Okay.
They keep saying the same. I can tell you what the definition says on Google though, but they keep saying the same kind of. In 3 different books I've read, one of them is 17 hours long, like a 17-hour listen. I mean, they keep saying that there's new cases developing, there's different disorders developing, and that they don't really have anything that they can diagnose.
Wow. Okay.
This is just from the books I read. Now I know there's a lot of information.
Yeah.
I'm only like a month into this study.
What would be one of the main traits
that they think highly of themselves? This is what this says here. Person's qualities include thinking highly of themselves, oneself, needing admiration, believing others are inferior, lacking empathy. That's the biggest one, the lacking empathy. Okay. I think personally that's what made me start digging into the study, was feeling that lack of empathy from people that I felt should be
a
little bit more engaging. I don't understand.
Like family, friends, all that.
Big distance. Yeah. Big break. And I'm like, where's that coming from? Yeah. It's a personality trait disorder. Okay. Sociopath, that's somebody who's antisocial. So there's been narcissists that I've actually just called direct narcissists, and they're really not. They lean more on the sociopath spectrum, which is a word they're trying to get rid of. Okay. They're trying to get rid of that and psychopath, both out of the medical terminology, because they've changed the term. The meanings have changed. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I can definitely say that narcissist. I've dated narcissists before, and I've been around them in maybe in not my immediate family, but in family, maybe some friendships. So I would say that your main thing is that empathy part is really big. Right. So like if you're dating and you're single and you've met this great guy and you guys leave each other and he doesn't check on you.
It's basically the thing that makes you an animal.
Yeah. Yes.
Like it differentiates you from being an animal, a human or a reptile or whatever. So that's why that empathy part is big. You say that they don't check on you.
They don't check on you or anything like that. Right.
They forced you to leave, and then it's a lot of different tricks. Yeah. Gaslighting is a big thing with narcissists. Okay. Crazy making is a really big thing.
Oh Lord.
The crazy making chapter was like 4 chapters. They're just all kind of case studies
Yeah.
I'll share the book in here, but it's really good. A lot of case studies of people going through certain things that they just put together and found the personality disorder in. So,
well,
scary.
we have been having such great discussion, you guys. We are almost out of time, so I just had one more question for you, Bob, and then I just wanted to give like maybe 3 things that married couples and long-term relationship couples can do. But my last question was to talk to the women really quickly. I want to talk about sex in our last question or the topic, and I want to ask you, do you think sex before marriage is a good thing or a bad thing? Because like I know we believe the Bible, so we believe that, you know, engaging in sexual activities outside of marriage, we're not supposed to do that, but I know that we both did before marriage. So from a man's point of view, give me just good or bad, talk to the women, good or bad from a man's point of view. Should we be out here giving up the goods like that?
No, absolutely not. I
Okay.
think it's for the reason why all of it's bad is because your mindset. Like, I don't think that sex before marriage is the problem. I think that sex without the idea of marriage is a problem.
Okay.
You know, like, you just want to be sleeping around. You don't ever think about, you don't want to lock up or be committed to nobody at all. That's the issue that, you know, most people deal with. I don't think women should be out doing that. Sleeping around, none of that. Like, you should know the person's mind first. So read some books, check out NPD and all the disorders surrounding it before you think about laying with somebody, because you might be laying with somebody who can't see you as a human, because they're not.
Yeah.
You know, they see you as another animal in the kingdom that they want to use for bait or use for supply.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
yeah. Know
And
that sort of thing first, and then sex and everything else will matter. Without your mind being right, it's just all playing around. So.
And I want to address the men really quickly. For us women, it's so important, men, to understand that we are the receivers. And so when you're having premarital sex with women who you know you're not going to go any further with them, you're depositing things in us that make us we attach to you, you know, automatically because of that. And so that's why you have so many issues with, you know, baby mama drama, women that are kind of low-key stalker crazy, different things like that, because we as women typically we give ourselves to you. And in return, we want to feel whatever that is back that we're giving to you, because that's the reason why we do it. There's not a lot of women out here who are just sexual just to be sexual. They're just not. There might be a small percentage.
Yeah, it's like one out of every 2.
But for the but shut up, Bobby. But for the Quan is on it right now. For the most part, we want something in return. So I would say, men, really, really be careful. Shut up. Be careful with that when you're out here just kind of sleeping around. So, baby, give me 3 things really quickly, because I want to get to my my video that I have. 3 things that married couples or relationships can do to help boost their relationships and not get lost.
Read together, walk together, have breakfast together.
Okay, so you guys, he's already told me we don't read together, we don't walk together,
figured it
but
out.
we have breakfast together. So I need to start walking with my baby. And I hate it.
You need to find 3 activities that you can do together
Yeah.
so that you're both willing to sacrifice. Because
Yes.
if not, it's a one-sided relationship the whole time. So.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Mine is find out your love language and your mates and start to try and treat them accordingly. Find out some of the triggers that you and your mate may have and discuss them and try your best not to be that for them. For single women, hold off on giving your goodies away, period. Make sure you can trust this man with your heart. Well, first, trust God with your heart. And if you listen, God will carry you in your decision making. So we're out of time, you guys. Join us every Friday night for the I Am Talitha Cumi show, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are discussing all things life, relationships, business, how to manage your money, health, politics, and more from a Black woman's novice point of view, which would be me. Bobby will also be joining us with a new segment on Fifth Fridays, and I will be hosting an audio segment called That Ain't What I Heard, every 5th Sunday morning on 91.5 FM KUNV, which is a radio station out here in Vegas.
Yeah.
And remember, if you would like to be a spotlight artist on the show, we would love to showcase you and give you a platform to do your thing. You can be a Christian artist or a secular artist, but we just need music with some substance and positivity. If you're interested, you can email us at foodforthesoulpresents@gmail.com for more information, and you could be our next guest. So I found this dope video, and I'm rushing because I really want to get to it. As I was researching for this particular song by Jamie Foxx that I felt would just kind of sum everything up. So here is at David Sosa with Steady Grind Music Publishing performing Jamie Foxx's Don't Let the Sun Go Down. And it's from a podcast, Live from Next Sound Studio Show. It's a YouTube station that gives the indie artist platform with live performances, and the artists sit with the director Will B. Walker in his director's cut studio to get the story behind their lyrics. So shout out to them. We do not own the rights to this clip or this song, but I thought you guys would like it.
Did you get clearance before you played it?
So many sleepless days and sleepless nights I spent alone, wondering if I'd make it on my own, without someone to hold me with that holding power. If not for a lifetime, at least for an hour. But this machine that clicks inside my head, oh, so cold. I'm hanging on a string, never letting go. How my heart breaks, how the tears roll. It's you I'm thinking of, so don't let the sun go down on our love. Oh. Sometimes I think I'm falling and no one is concerned. I'm headed down that pathway, that point of no return. But if I had your love, your sweetness, oh, to safely guide me through, I'm absolutely lost when I'm without you. How my heart breaks, how the tears they roll. There's an empty space inside my soul, but don't let the sun go down. So many sleepless days and sleepless nights, you know, I spent alone. I'm left without no one
Hey y'all, hey, we could play the whole video, but I absolutely love that Jamie Foxx song. That was on his very first album. I think it was I forgot, it was Unpredictable. I don't remember the album, but it was his very first album. Anyway, I love the song. But make sure you guys tune in every Friday to the I Am Talitha Cumi show at 7:30 p.m. on our FB page and YouTube station, Food for the Soul Media Group. And tell your people. Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media platforms. On FB, Food for the Soul Media Group. I Am Talitha Cumi. On Instagram at Orlay_worldwide and at I Am Talitha _Cumi. You guys stay tuned in for the gumbo mix next week when my girl should be back. And our show tonight has been sponsored in part by the Orlay Collective, Big Bobby B Beats, and Eccentric Soul Productions. Bobby, you got anything else to say? Really, that's what you do? Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next week. Bye.
Peace.